Good morning, may Prabhus and Matajis. Yan. Late talaga nagsimula kasi gusto ko tapusin yung kanta. One of my favorite songs. Si Karnamrita. Yan. Sayo mo to, Adam. Nakita ko yung sayaw mo yan. I-forward ko dapat sa'yo to kaya naisip ko i-play ko na lang. Nakita ko yung stories mo. Madami pa, meron pang Pingala Ovacha. So maganda yung mga stories natin. If you want to read yung mga pastime na translation, search nyo lang yung title ng mantra. Tapos may translation niya palagi. Good morning, hello. Adam, Hare Krishna Alet, Hare Krishna, good morning. Dona, Hare Krishna. Levi, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Joan, Hare Krishna. Makoy Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Carla, Hare Krishna. muntik na matapos yung art. Yan, si Milk, Hare Krishna, good morning. Noreen, Hare Krishna. Pebs, Princess, Hare Krishna. RJ, Hare Krishna, RJ. JM, good morning, Hare Krishna. Josh, yan. Bihira magparamdam si Josh sa group chat natin, pero nagparamdam siya. Malupit na universal form na art kaagad. Oliver Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Paolo, Hare Krishna. Nika, Hare Krishna. Good morning. And today, lagi namang special, you know the drill. Sa spiritual world, there's no comparison. It's always superlative, especially when we're discussing about yoga philosophy, Krishna consciousness, and we are actually linking ourselves kay Krishna. We've discussed in our meditation classes knowing our own self, the soul, yung connection natin sa sarili natin. We know na hindi tayo yung senses, we're not the mind, even the intelligence, and of course, we're not this body, but we're the spirit soul. And ang nature ng isang soul is Satchit Ananda, which is eternally blissfully knowledgeable. And a sober person can see an elephant, a dog, a priest, or even the dog eater as equal kasi nakikita niya na may mga soul sila. At the same time, nakikita niya si Krishna expanding himself and lahat ng body ng living entities na yun, andun din si Krishna. So, hiwala yon. We have the part and parcel, which is us, the soul, and si Krishna as his expansion as the super soul. Each living entity, andun yung dalawang soul na yun. Soul and super soul. So don't be mistaken that you are God, that you are the super soul. We're the soul. We are the servant and we have the enjoyer, which is si Krishna. Prakriti and Purusha. So yung connection natin with others, we discuss as well. The missing link, two parts ng human, how to become a true friend sa ibang tao. At the same time, how to connect yung loving relationship natin, giving of gifts, accepting gifts or charity, revealing one's mind and inquiring confidentially. At the same time, yung prasadam, the spiritualized food you can give and you can receive. Those are the six loving relationship and exchanges between souls. We discuss also yung connection natin sa other living entities, which are the animals, even the insects, other species, moving and non-moving living entities. And yung role natin sa kanila is to extend our love and compassion, not to abuse them, not thinking that we're at the top of the food cycle. Actually, tayo nasa bottom nila. And of course, yung connection natin sa Mother Earth. So these two, connection with ourselves, connection with others, and now we are going sa connection natin with the Supreme. The meaning of yoga is to connect. So join me as we recite the invocation mantras for us to be able to be in the humble mood, in the mood of request, and the mood of humility. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvya eva cha patitanam pavanevyo vaishnavevyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivashadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome sa ating relationship and connection to the Supreme. This is Bhakti Yoga, the highest form of yoga in the yoga ladder. After all the animalistic life, the karma candies, then they perform karma yoga, and some will perform jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga. Then we will go up sa ating Bhakti Yoga. And yung iba will take lifetimes after lifetimes stuck sa animalistic life lang, the karma candies, or those who are living their lives in karma yoga lang, or in jnana, or in ashtanga lang. But there's an express elevator going to Bhakti Yoga, which is the Yuga Dharma Sankirtan, the process of self-realization in this Kali Yuga, in this Yuga, in this era. So this is the Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti is the eternal form of love, and the yoga is to link. So in our spiritual practice, it is not the means and mediums to have superpowers to perfect our life. Diba? Kayang-kayang gawin ng ibang mga tao yan in technology. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-mental telepathy. Diba? Pwede ka na mag-text. Hindi mo na kailangan lumipad. Pwede kang sumakay ng aeroplano. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-expand ng sarili mo. You could have different bird's eye view then. Pwede ka mag-GPS. Ang dami. So, hindi yun yung goal. It doesn't mean one is experiencing this, one is spiritual. No, it is still material. One could experience different yoga asana features sa mga body niya. Still, this is material. One could be, one could remove yung mga unwanted baggages niya. Could control his senses. Could be perfected yung mga other mystic yogi, mystic powers niya. Could even so smart, nakabisado niya yung Vedas. But without this, everything is still material. Everything is still material. So ano ba yung language of love? Connection natin with the Supreme. It is not just by offering Him wealth. Siya may-ari ng lahat. What's the use? But the spiritual love or Bhakti Yoga. The practice of spirituality is free actually. And the process of Krishna consciousness, a real spiritual life, is free. But it is not cheap. Give me a sec. Tumutunog eh. Yan. Real spiritual life is free, but it is not cheap. It is not a ticket to India. Again, it is not a certification. Number of hours of practice, then you'll be certified. It is not by number of books na nabasa mo, or ang dami mo nakausap, or ang dami mo napanood na master's class sa YouTube. Diba? O napanood mo na lahat, nag-subscribe ka sa isang website ng isang pseudo guru. Even the deep meditation or gaano pa ka-deep yung split na magagawa mo sa yoga asana, hindi pa rin siya considered na spiritual. Even you took a lot of psychedelics, It will not give you spirituality. Still, these are material. Some could be your platform to jump sa spirituality. Yung iba, near-death experience. Yung iba, traveling. Yung iba, meeting of saintly person. Yung iba, very little percentage, psychedelics. Iba, meditation. Different. But it is still material if hindi mo na itutuloy doon. But definitely, it is not cheap, but it is free. And the most dangerous part ng practice ng spirituality is when one is thinking that he is God. And one is in false ego, thinking he is superior to others. Nagka-chant na ako, nag-Hare Krishna na ako, may kaibigan ako ng monk. Mga inferior kayo ngayon sa akin. Mga material yung mga activities nyo, hindi kayo nagka-chant. O kaya hindi kayo nag-attend ng mga spiritual class. That is so foolish. And it's a danger for us. Even the monks, we are always being reminded that false ego could always creep in. It is part of Maya. Thinking that we are above all. Yung danger ng we are renounced of all the material desires and activities, but thinking we are being proud. So, for one to be able to practice spiritual life, one should be always in the humble mood. And actually, to become selfless. Still doing your duty. Still doing your responsibilities. Paka or perfectly, sabi nga nila. Diba? More than sa kaya mong gawin ngayon. Pero the detachment should be there. And the detachment natin sa false ego. Because we are, ano yung dharma natin? Natandaan niyo pa ba yun? Chapter introduction. Ano yung dharma ng isang soul? To become a servant. And the question is, saan mo i-direct yung pagiging servant mo, yung dharma mo? Is connection natin to the Supreme. And the process ng spiritual love is to become dasa anudas, or being the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. We're not going directly to Krishna. Dadaan pa tayo kay Srimati Radharani. Dadaan pa tayo sa gopis. Dadaan pa tayo sa manjaris. Dadaan pa tayo sa mga spiritual masters. To be able to be connected. And that's the role and that's the humility ng isang devotee. Isang bhakti yogi. To be in that humble position. Serving the servant of the servant of the servant. Thinking ourselves to be the lowest. That is why it's not cheap. Kasi, ano yung binidap sa atin ng society, ano yung binidap sa atin ng humanity, kung ano meron binidap sa atin. Binidap sa atin, we are the topmost. Tayo yung sentro ng universe. Hindi na yung sun. Pag nag-aral ka ng Vedic cosmology, crazy as it may seem for the newer one, hindi talaga sun yung sentro ng universe. Pag-usapan natin yan in the future. Pero, panoorin niyo yung Vedic cosmology na film. But anyway, more than that, thinking ng isang tao is, we are the center of all this creation. It is always great. Kaya tuntua ako aralin yung mga cosmology. Kasi you would see, in this place, in this city, diba? Kunyari, narito ka sa Laguna or nasa Manila ka. Part lang yun ng NCR. Diba, may bago na ngayon, may NCR Plus na. Diba? Part lang yun. Tapos part lang ng Luzon. Yung Luzon part na Philippines. And nasa gitna lang tayo ng Pacific Ocean. It's like zooming out. Diba? Then sa part lang tayo ng Asia. And a little portion lang yun ng Earth. Tapos yung Earth, one planet lang siya sa dami ng planet sa universe na to. And pag kinumpare mo nga, alit na ng Earth compared sa malalaking planet. Minsan 100 or 1,000 times smaller. Tapos, yung Earth, saka yung mga planets na to, portion lang dun sa space sa universe. Then, yung universe natin is just one mustard seed. Ganun lang kaliit. So, one bag of mustard seed. Ganun lang siya count. Tapos us, thinking, and this false ego, this head, thinking na tayo yung sentro ng universe. Ang laki-laki natin. Kaya gustong-gusto ko aralin yung mga cosmology, and it's really helpful for us because it put us into the humble position, how small we really are. But yung amount ng spiritual love that we could emit is really big. Pale blue dot. Yes. Yung mind natin, we're thinking so big, pero our in comparison do sa love na kaya natin, na binibigay natin, is napakalit. We should be other way around. Thinking ourselves to be lower than a blade of grass. At the same time, yung gusto natin ibigay na spiritual love should be bigger than the universe. That is why spirituality is not cheap. It is free. You don't need to have diploma or what kind of social order na meron ka, ano man gender kung meron ka, ano man nationality, anong kulay ng balat mo. No. Everyone have equal opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness or spiritual life. Ano yung grace para makuha natin and para makonect tayo dun sa spirituality is by the association of devotees. Having a teacher. That is why the meaning of our Om Agyanati Timiranda siya. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance, with the torchlight of knowledge. This is not sentimental practice. You must use your kokote, your mind, and your spiritual intelligence to understand this. It is not just following some Facebook famous person na may poster regarding this. Na in-speculate lang niya. We don't want to waste our time in life following speculation or pseudo-gurus. So it is a duty of us to learn how to use that spiritual love. Again, pataram puspam palam toyam, yome bhaktya prayachate tadaham bhakti uparitam asnami prayatat manaha. If one offers me with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. There is the language of love natin kay Krishna and to other living entities. The spiritual love, the love and devotion, not lust, not the material lust that we think and we're used to. The toothpaste commercial, not that lust. The love and devotion. Paano malalaman yung love and devotion? Paano malalaman pag andun ka? It is selfless and you're connecting to Krishna. And ano yung language of love na yun? Devotional service. Bhakti yoga. That's the meaning of bhakti yoga. Devotional service. This is the spiritual love in action. You're doing devotional service. Not just actual service. Not just the actual work lang or duty lang na work mo. This is devotional service. Just like Arjuna, he will fight in the war. But thinking of Krishna, following Krishna's order, offering the results of Krishna, this will be devotional service. Dovetailing, yukta vairagya. You dovetail the activities to Krishna. That's devotional service. George Harrison dedicated his life, made a lot of albums, wrote a lot of songs dedicated sa longing love kay Krishna. Yung mga kanta niya, Hear Me Lord, My Sweet Lord, diba? I Me Mine, talking about the knowledge, indirectly or directly talking about kay Krishna. Sabi nga niya, Here Comes the Sun daw na kanta is dedicated niya kay Krishna. Ginawa niya yun para kay Krishna. Parang yung verse na to, just the light, illuminating light, Here Comes the Sun. So that's devotional service. Using yung mga talents and skills and facilities na meron tayo. Yung mga artists sa mga libro natin. Diba? If ever you'll be in sculpture or you'll be in painting. Diba? in music, si Karen Amrita using that music. Even if si mga attorney that making the papers, the laws, 'di ba? Kung napanood niyo yung movie na Hare Krishna film, they fought sa court. That is still devotion service because the purpose, the consciousness is Krishna. That is a spiritual love language. If you cook for Krishna before honoring it. That is devotional service. Some will be big, some will be small. Still, ang ina-accept ni Krishna doon yung love and devotion. Not just offering magarbo kay Krishna for a show. Pero walang love and devotion kay Krishna. So how to know? Ano ba yung mga gusto natin malaman? Paano natin malalaman na devotional service yung ginagawa natin? We should be guided by a Siksha Guru or yung ating mga mentors or a Diksha Guru, yung initiating gurus natin. They will help us because like a coach, they will help us how to use and make yung take advantage, ay yung right term, nung meron tayo. Gamitin natin na maayos. We have facilities around us. We have talents, we have skills, we have characteristics, and iba-iba. There's no comparison and there's no competition how one should do their devotional service according to others. Very unique lahat. Diba? Iba-iba. There will be engineers. Gumagawa sila ng largest temples around the world. The Temple of Vedic Planetary System. Temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur. A lot of engineers and architect in Manon doon. They're engaging their talent and skills. Ang main donor doon is yung may-ari ng Ford Motors ngayon. He's also initiated devotee, ang pangalan niya? Kamuta ko tuloy. So, yeah. Napanood niyo sa film yon. So, andun din siya. He's also fundraising for that. So, ang daming skills and talents na pwede ibigay. Again, one should be guided by spiritual. Harrison Ford. Alfred Ford na yata yung apo. Si Harrison Ford, iba yun. So, yung apo. Siya yung devotee yung disciple Sri Prabhupada. Then, they're using all these talents and guided sila ng spiritual teachers, ng spiritual master, or ng spiritual mentor. So, we should always make sure that we are in that spiritual love language. Actually, parang same pa rin yung ginagawa natin ngayon. Nag-iiba lang yung consciousness, nag-iiba lang din yung intention. And when guided by this teacher, it is already spiritual love. This is the spiritual love language. And it could not be done by any material means lang. I'll show you some pictures, illustrations, This is a Mataji or a mother in Vrindavan. He is selling fruits. I have some apples, oranges, and mangoes. Fruits. And dumating si fruit vendor sa quarters ni Krishna sa Vrindavan. And Krishna playing around, tinawag yung fruit vendor, gusto niya ng fruits. Pero he doesn't have any concept of the trade, kung ano yung babayad niya. So, ang ginawa ni Krishna, pumunta dun sa stockroom nila. Got a lot of grains. So, nalagay niya sa kamay niya with this small lotus hand. Habang naglalakad siya palabas ng quarters para ibayad dun sa fruits, nalalaglag yung mga grains dun sa middle ng fingers niya sa hand niya. Pagdating niya dun sa vendor, onti lang yung natira. Sabi ng vendor sa kanya, what do you want? And what are you offering for exchange for these fruits? This. I'm offering you the grains. Ito yung bayad ko. Like a playful gesture ng mga bata. Diba? Play money. Diba? So, ginagawa ni Krishna yun. He's paying grains. Okay. Sabi ng fruit vendor ng Mataji. In this mood, sa Vrindavan, lahat sila tingin nila kay Krishna and the other boys are their sons. Okay, sige. I'll give you fruits and accept that grain only if kumandong ka sa lap ko and you call me Mata or Mataji. Sabi ni Krishna, okay. Tapos umupo si fruit vendor, tapos umupo si Krishna doon. Hirap na hirap pa siya, tumanan siya. Mata, could you give me fruits? Tapos tuwan-tuwa yung Mataji, yung fruit vendor. He gave a lot of fruits kay Krishna. Out of love. Then what Krishna is doing is yung laman ng fruit basket niya is turning into jewels and gems and golds. That is the spiritual love language kay Krishna. Out of love. And yung binibigay ni Krishna, more than enough na kaya niyang ibigay, na more than na needed natin. And bali wala na dun sa Mataji yun. Wala na siyang pakialam dun sa jewels and golds niya. Nakafocus siya kay Krishna. Kasi the real jewel, the real gold, the real wealth is Krishna. Offering pa rin siya ng love. Offer pa rin siya ng offer. This is the love language. And yung relationship niya, kung natandaan nyo, merong 5 relationship or 5 rasa to the Supreme. Yung love niya kay Krishna is in a form of parental love or motherly love. He's offering it to Krishna. This is another pastime. You know the boys, the playful boys. Minsan yung mga bata sobrang curious, di ba? Lahat na lang kinaagat. Lahat na lang sinusubo. Doon sila yung curiosity na anong taste na ito, di ba? And sometimes you will see them taking in dirt. Gusto na malaman yung lasa. So may mga kalaro siya. Yung kuya niya si Balaram, this the bright white skin. Tapos yung mga kalaro niya sila Freedom, sila ng mga name nila. Vartapa, tapos may mga same name pa sila Bringara, and kasama sila si Madhu Manggal. So yung mga Gopas yun. May mga names yun. Kompleto in detail. So sabi nga, if you want to really know God, know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, read the scriptures. You can read the Krishna book. So yung may mga Krishna book na copy dyan. Makikilala mo si Krishna yung mga name niya. And if you love a person, inikilala mo lahat ng mga kaibigan niya. You meet the parents, you meet the friends. So, nandito lahat yon. And habang naglalaro yung mga boys, sinumbong nila kay Mother Yashoda, yung nanay ni Krishna. Mata, Krishna's eating dirt. Diba? Snitch. Nagsumbong sila. Tapos si Mother Yashoda, of course, with love and care. Is it true, Krishna? Come here. Could you open your mouth? Nagdi-deny ba si Krishna? No. Tapos ginawa ni Mother Yashoda, nilapit niya tapos trying to open yung mouth ni Krishna. Kasi may mga dirt naman talaga eh. Obvious naman. Gusto niya makita kung anong ginawa ni Krishna. Pag open ni Mother Yashoda ng mouth ni Krishna, hindi lang dirt yung nakita niya. He saw the whole universe, the whole creation, all the planetary systems, the heavenly planetary system, the lower planetary system, the earth, all the stars, the sun, the moon, lahat nakita niya. Tapos nag-zoom in. She was so amazed, nag-zoom in yung view niya, yung vision niya sa mouth ni Krishna. Hanggang lumapit na dun sa earth, in the solar system, lumapit na dun sa earth, lumapit dun sa Vrindavan. Tapos nakita niyo yung sarili niya, hawak niya si Krishna. Nag-loop. Tapos na matay si Mother Yashoda. After niya maalimpungatan, sabi niya, this boy is very different. This is not a normal boy. He seems to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tapos, patient obeisances, nag-pray siya kay Krishna. And Krishna, being the lovely Supreme Personality of Godhead, using his material energy, Maya. There's 2 forms of Maya for us to forget Krishna, para lumayo tayo kay Krishna. And may ginagamit, that is what we call Mahamaya. And there's this thing called Yoga Maya. Krishna uses this for us to be able to be closer sa Kanya. Ginagamit niya to sa mga devotees niya. So, Krishna used this Yoga Maya for Mother Yashoda to forget na si Krishna yung Supreme Personality of Godhead. Teka lang. Kakalimutan mo na si Krishna yung Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ba't tayo nag-aaral? Because these are different personalities. They are on the extreme level. Ayaw niya na nakikita siya ni Mother Yashoda na siya yung Supreme. Gusto niya nakikita siya ni Mother Yashoda as her son. Kasi pag Supreme, you'll not treat Krishna as your own son. Hindi mo siya papagalitan, hindi mo siya lalambingin, hindi mo siya like ganito. Diba? Mag-pray ka lang. In reverence mood. Diba nasa 5 rasa yon. But higher than that is the parental love kay Krishna. And gustong-gusto ni Krishna yon. Then parang one click, parang alam mo yun sa Men in Black, meron silang pinipindot, tapos makakalimutan mo lahat. Same. Nakalimutan ni Mother Yashoda yung nakita niya na si Krishna yung Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he treats his son, Krishna, as her own son, with love and devotion. No one could really capture Krishna. Kahit mag-perform ka pa ng maraming austerities, lumuhod ka, maglakad ka na nakaluhod, magpagawa ka pa ng mga sugat-sugat and all, ma-perfect mo yung mga yoga asana, ma-perfect mo yung mystic yoga, mag-offer ka ng material things kay Krishna. No one could capture Krishna. Even ma-perfect mo i-recite yung mga mantras in Sanskrit, makabisado mo yung Vedas. Good luck, pero kung makabisado man yun, hindi mo pa rin makakapture si Krishna. The only thing that could capture Krishna is love. Bakit si Arjuna is riding the chariot and si Krishna yung chariot driver? It seems si Krishna yung nag-serve sa devotees. Baka si Krishna being disciplined and taken care of Mother Yashoda. Kasi all of them caught Krishna. Caught the Supreme Personality of Godhead by spiritual love. It is free, but it is not cheap. Sipin mo makuha mo si Krishna. So this is Mother Yashoda, and eternal form niya yan, eternal position niya yan. So yung mother ni Krishna in all pastimes. Yung pastime na nakikita natin to, yung mga pinag-uusapan natin, it is happening everywhere in different universes. Nangyari dito sa universe natin, 5,000 years ago, that is just one click lang. Sa day ni Lord Brahma, parang ilang minuto pa lang yun. And this pastime is happening again in different universes. It is eternal. Ito yung position ni Krishna. When you go to Vrindavan, the spiritual world, you won't see Krishna as the king there. Siya yung hari, no. And the eternal position niya is a coward boy, playing his flute, serenading yung mga devotees niya, being a mother, sa mga motherly affectionate sa kanya, being a friend, being a lover. We'll discuss that, intimate love kay Krishna. And having that loving relationship. You cannot see this pastimes in detail in any scriptures that you could find. You cannot just meditate on nothingness and relish the sweetness. No, it will be dry speculation and dry meditation without this. And yes, the Madonna siya. You could search kung ano yung peg nila dun sa painting na yun. Saka sa so this is the love of parental love, motherly love kay Krishna. Sabi nga in this material world, walang makakalapit sa spiritual love kundi yung love ng nanay sa anak niya. So yung mga mom, mga mother dyan, alam nyo na yung greatest love na meron sa material world. But of course, there is much more beyond that, which is spiritual love kay Krishna. And that love is in action by devotional service. It doesn't mean lalaki ka, hindi mo pwedeng magawa yung maternal or paternal love kay Krishna. So yung father ni Krishna, si Nanda Maharaj, same din. So, it's beyond. Pwede ka magkaroon ng motherly love din kay Krishna kahit lalaki ka. You're in this material male body. This is just the body na may gender, pero yung love, it is spiritual, beyond that. And if one is in this position, in this relationship kay Krishna, in this love kay Krishna, it is very different. And it is eternal. Ano yung step 1 na ganito na Radhacharan? Ang taas na naman pinag-usapan natin. So high or it's so deep. Pare, at the same time. Again, the way to connect kay Krishna, the way magagawa natin yung spiritual love na yun is by doing devotional service. Even the simplest way of devotional service. How? You could help also in sharing Krishna consciousness, sharing the words, the mantra to others, if that would be so big for you. At least help in distributing the books so they could know Krishna, if that's too big for you. Act in a way na they will be inspired and that you are practicing Krishna consciousness in the rightful or according manner. If that's still too big for you, first step is to chant Krishna's name. So get your Japamala. The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is composed of 3 words, 3 names, Hare, Krishna, and Rama. Hare is Srimati Radharani, or Hara. He is the energy of Krishna, the lover of Krishna. We cannot approach Krishna directly. We should approach Srimati Radharani first. At the same time, it means his energy, eternal energy ni Krishna. Rama is the reservoir of all pleasure. Lahat na nararamdaman natin, dun galing. Kay Krishna lahat yun. And Krishna is the all-attractive one. We are meditating, oh Krishna, the all-attractive one. Or Radharani, Hara. The energy of Krishna. Or Rama, the reservoir of pleasure. Please engage me in your devotional service. So if we chant, we will have opportunity to have devotional service. To start this spiritual love kay Krishna. And just like watering the root of the tree, if you're doing devotional service, everything will be pleased. Everyone will be pleased. Just like pag nagtubig ka sa root ng tree, sila Dayan, alam nila yan pag tatanim ka dun sa mga plants mo. The other parts of it are nourished. If Krishna is pleased by your love and service, you'll be pleased. You'll find that eternal happiness. And others will be pleased as well. Even your relatives and all. So our meditation for today is for us to be able to see yung importance ng spiritual love, and for us to be able to discriminate ano ba yung material lust lang and spiritual love, and for us to be able to get the privilege to serve Krishna in that mood and serve the devotees, which is yung servant of the servant ni Krishna, and to be guided sa ng ating mga spiritual teachers. The first step is to be attentive in hearing and chanting. We chant from the heart because we don't chant mechanically. We chant with love and devotion. This is one step. The greatest devotional service is chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The mood is just like a child longing for a mother. Very helpless, very longing. And that's the mood na kailangan natin to call upon Krishna. Kasi it's Krishna's name. Tinatawag mo siya. That's like when you're calling Diana or you're calling Princess. Diba? They will give attention to you, tinawag mo yung name niya. And you're calling Krishna. Tapos pagpunta ni Krishna sa'yo, yung attention mo wala pala. Nasa iba pala yung mind mo. Tapos may ibang ginagawa ka pala or nag-cellphone ka lang pala. So you're calling Krishna's name. Si Krishna mismo yun. You must be attentive in hearing. And we should chant clearly. We should be pronouncing and vibrating the mantra. And it should be coming from the heart. I'll be chanting in my pace. If medyo mabilis or mabagal, you can mute, silent ng onte yung yung volume. Pwede niyo rin ako sabayan. So inhale. Find your comfortable position. If your mind goes away, bring it back. Breathe. And remember to chant from the heart. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakti Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please bring back your mind. Focus on chanting and be attentive in hearing. Chant from the heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant the remaining beads on your Japamala from your heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shabashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. If you're finished with your runs, please type 108. If not yet, please finish them. Chant from the heart and be focused in hearing and chanting. And you can chant the Panchatattva mantra after. And if you're finished, you could open your camera so I could see. Tas mag-picture tayo before we go sa ating question and answer and sharing portion. Let's see. Yan, almost everyone is finished. Sige, picture muna tayo. Please open your cameras. Salamat sa mga nagkapasa ng assignment. Ang ganda ng mga universal form ni Krishna. Mga art forms ninyo. Hindi ko alam kung may sasayaw. Iba nagkatago kasi hindi pa gumagawa. Okay, huwag mo ko tawanan, Nika. Yan. Thank you very much. Okay. Eyes on the camera. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. I'm most humbled and honored being with your presence. Isa pa, umabot si Grazel. 1, 2. Saka si Joss. 1, 2, 3. Isa pa. One more. Yan. Habol. I'm most humbled and honored with your presence. Hindi kompletong umaga kapag hindi tayo magkakasama. And we are actually on the 21st or 22nd session na natin. Few more. But don't worry, there's a lot na mga matutunan pa natin in yoga philosophy and in meditation. There are actually nagluluto kami ng mga new courses. Meron na mga sa gabi palagi. And may mga next nakaabang. I'll be conducting a meditation and leadership course sa ating mga leaders. It is in connection sa spiritual revolution. We will study yung mga leaders in the scriptures. And yung mga advisors nila palagi is yung mga monks. Kasi we are used to seeing yung mga leaders in society having other advisors lang na may iba-ibang ulterior motives. In the scriptures, they are called Raja Rishi or saintly kings because they're being guided by spirituality in leading the whole earth actually yung emperor. And sobrang graceful dati and sobrang ganda ng leadership nun because they're guided. People are in the right position. Leaders are leaders. Yung mga monks are helping them. And those who are businessmen are businessmen. Those who are laborers are laborers. Hindi sila nag-mix up. Hindi yung famous lang yung magiging leader tapos yung capability nila hindi naman. Or businessman lang yung nagiging leader, no? So marami yun. Ginagawa ko na yung course and that will be next. If you're interested, let me know then. So madami pa. And those who are messaging me, and thank you again, those who are letting me serve them as their mentor. So tuloy-tuloy yung connection natin. I'm humbled again. Ang requirement ko lang sa inyo is to always chant your rounds and let me know if you're finished. And more bonding pa tayo. May mga tinatawagan ako isa-isa. Or we could have, meron din session, Zoom session, bonding session. Like a 30 minutes, an hour, usap-usap in the afternoon. So, let's keep in touch and chat palagi. If you need to go, you know the drill. Action speaks louder than words. Ayun yung right way to share our consciousness, and don't be proud in this practice. This is not our license again to be offensive. Rather, we should be in a humble mood. Like yung yoga, hindi lang nasa yoga mat. This Krishna consciousness is not just in the Zoom platform. After neto, how do you connect with others? How do you remember Krishna? Then, so if you have more than one minimum round, please chant Paran today. Read the books and be Krishna conscious. Sige, basahin natin yung mga chat nila. Yan. Prabhu, di ba sabi niyo po, lahat ng energies galing kay Krishna. Paano po yung negative ones? Yes. It's coming from his material energy, Maya. And yung happiness and distress, the positive and negative energy, saan mo malalaman yun, is just coming from your perception ng mind. Just like pain and pleasure, same lang siya. Scientifically, kakabugin dibdib mo, parang may goosebumps ka, di ba? Pag kinikilig ka, actually same lang din siya kapag broken-hearted ka. Iyak ka rin, pero iba yung perception. Of course, these are material. Material energy ni Krishna yon. The spiritual energy ni Krishna is the kasama yung chanting. Yung connection sa kanya, the spiritual love. Yan, tatanong ni Noemi, this is a meditation class ngayon. So, nag-discuss tayo kanina chapter 9 na verse. Yan. If you want to read yung pastime ni Krishna, get the Krishna book. You could read yung pastime na kunyanto kanina. Yes, sir. Yan, bakit yung skin tone ni Krishna purplish in his physical form? Yes, this is his form and his color, just like new monsoon rain cloud that is being discussed sa scriptures. Ayun yung kulay niya. It's also a symbol of purity, and this is also very not very spiritual color. Hindi mo siya makuha sa palette and sa perception ng material eye natin. This is the nearest kung ano yung nakikita natin kay Krishna. So the reason is, he likes it. That's number one. And that's a symbol of purity and spirituality. So hindi siya bound kung ano yung color lang natin. Medyo blackish nga yung color niya. Prabhu, parents ba ni Krishna ang nagpangalan sa kanya? Si Krishna, before siya bumaba dito, pangalan niya Krishna na. So that's his eternal name. Yung Krishna na name niya is his original name. Others are also expansion. The Vasudev, diba? Devaki Nandana, anak siya ni Devaki. Yashoda Nandana, anak siya ni Yashoda. Yung name ni Krishna will be different pastimes and characteristics niya. He killed the demon Madhu, tinatawag siyang Madhu Mangal. Madhu Sudana. Sometimes, may characteristic siya sa yung tawag sa kanya. Shama Sundara, the color of his skin. Shama Sundar. Or Madhava. So, yung mga endearment. Diba? Pag darling, diba? That's endearment. Yung mga devotees may mga endearment kay Krishna. Nagagaling yun sa mga pastimes, sa mga characteristic ni Krishna. And, yung mga name na binibigay ng spiritual master sa guru, sa disciple, yung mga guru, initiation, they will give names sa mga disciple. It will be coming from names of Krishna, names ng devotees ni Krishna, or pastimes. Just like the name given to me by spiritual master, Radha Charandas. There is, Radha is Srimati Radharani, the consort, the lover of Krishna. His first expansion, the greatest devotee. And Charan is the lotus feet. Dasa is the servant. So I'm the loving servant sa lotus feet ng goddess na si Srimati Radharani. One way is to always remember Krishna by remembering these names. So madami. You could always see yung mga names ni Krishna sa Bhagavad Gita if you're reading. Iba-iba yung tawag kay Krishna. Depende sa endearment, depende sa message. So, bago pa siya bumaba rito, Krishna yung pangalan niya, Krishna. Nasa scriptures na yun. Yes. The book for yoga session is different from the meditation session po, or the same? Same. Minsan kumukuha tayo sa Bhagavad Gita, minsan hindi lang sa Bhagavad Gita. The most importantly is, we study and read them. It's possible ba na si Swami Prabhupada reincarnate siya ni Krishna? No? Yung mga incarnation ni Krishna is already written in the scriptures. Pag-usapan natin sa chapter 11. And pag si Krishna is being reincarnated, may mga symbols siya, may mga signs. Sa lotus feet niya, may mga signs din makikita. He could perform yung mga tasks and mga activities, mga pastimes. Like, of course, si Krishna as God. Srila Prabhupada is an empowered incarnation. Ang tawag sa kanya is Saktyaves Avatar. Is the soul but eternally liberated. Hindi siya yung na-kick out lang sa spiritual world para pumunta rito. Mababa siya dito to save humanity. So, ganun yung mga great devotees. They go to different places. Not just, hindi sila galing doon. Coming from ibang lugar din sila. Higher planetary system or spiritual world. Yeah. And he will save them. So, he is an eternally liberated person. He is considered as empowered incarnation, not direct incarnation. Or Saktyaves Avatar. Ayun yung right na term doon. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it was mentioned yung different incarnation ni Krishna, expansions niya. Even yung roles ng mga tao. And even Jesus Christ was considered empowered soul then. Not an incarnation. Kaya Son of God siya. So Sri Prabhupada is also like that. So devotees of Krishna are actually, the pure devotees of Krishna is actually much more dear to Krishna than the demigods. Because, again, they have the spiritual love language, the devotional service. So let's aim for us to be able to perform devotional service. One way is to chant. One way is the other menial service, the action. If you don't know how, you ask your teachers or your spiritual mentors, how could I engage or how could I engage and perform devotional service? Yan. So, iba-iba yan. Who evaluates if one is Krishna's incarnation? The Guru, Sadhu, and Sastra. The three authorities. It should be written in the Sastra. And the gurus will, of course, acknowledge, and the saintly person. And of course, they rely on the Sastra then. So, yung next na latest incarnation ni Krishna is here 500 years ago, si Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden form. Yung next na niya will be more than 400,000 years pa. Kalki Avatar. Yan. Chaitanya. Yes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's the one who brought yung Hare Krishna Maha Mantra dito. Ayun chinachant natin. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So, very sweet pastime. Papag-usapan natin yung mga pastime ni Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sana maabutan mo si Lord Kalki. Naku, wag. Yung end ng Kali Yuga will be worse. Kung ano na-experience mo ngayon, will be worse talaga. Pag maaral natin Srimad Bhagavatam yun, the future is in this book. Kung ano yung nangyayari. Diba? The people will be small na lang. Hanggang 10 years old na lang sila. Diba? And the earth is not giving grains and minerals and beans na kumakain na sila ng mga tao. Yeah, very barbaric. There's no spirituality already. End of the Kali Yuga na yun. Kaya we must finish our business here. We should end this material life this lifetime. We don't have to wait for the future next lives. We must break the cycle of birth and death this lifetime and go back home, back to Krishna. If we procrastinate, you'll be born again. Punta ka muna sa heaven or sa hell, tapos you'll be born again in different animals. Or, di ba, mali mo, ilang beses ka magiging pagong, magiging puno, ilang 100 of years yun. Diba? Bago ka bumalik ulit sa pagkatao. Diba? What if pagando ka sa later part ng Kali Yuga na wala na mga devotees, very materialistic na lang yung mga tao. So yes, that's the goal. Finish this lifetime, yung spiritual business natin, and go back home, back to Godhead. So first step again is to chant Krishna's name. So we can move on. Mukhang may pagong to si Oliver. Napapakita mo ba? Yes. So, nga, ang dami. So that's the first step. Chant Krishna's name. Diba? So take care of that pagong, Oliver. Pero pag namatay ka, don't think of pagong. Kasi you'll become turtle. Si Krishna actually may incarnation na tortoise. May incarnation sa na fish, may incarnation sa na boar. We will learn about it. Si Matsa, si Kurma, incarnation niya na pagong. May incarnation siya na boar, si Varahadeva. So these are incarnation of Krishna, not demigods. So lahat yun nasa scriptures. Sino yung incarnation? Lahat yun may mga footprints, symbol sa footprints nila. Tapos may mga reason ba't sila bumaba. So maraming salamat everyone. Anong oras na ba? Okay. And looking forward sa mga assignments ninyo. Meron pa tayo na iwan na isang movie review or dalawa. I'll forward it soon. Hindi ko pa forward kagad kasi dumami yung assignment. And kita-kita tayo uli bukas. Kasi bukas will be 13th and 14th chapter ng Bhagavad Gita. And habang pa-end malapit tayo sa end nun, it will be much more exciting. Hindi pa to end, sabi ni Naomi. Not the end yet. And there's no end actually. This is just start ng ating knowing ng yoga philosophy. Actually, kinakamot pa lang natin. Scratching the surface. And please continue to chant your rounds and be Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Joanne, Diana, Adam, RJ, Veronica, Alat, Oliver, Paolo, Milka, si Levi, Princess, Josh, Naomi, Pebs, Noreen, Aika, and Carla.